Bonjour et bienvenue dans le podcast de l'Alliance française de Jaipur. Aujourd'hui, nous parlons des Jeux olympiques. July 26th, 2024. What an important day in Paris history. As the city is hosting the 30th edition of the Summer Olympic Games, let's discover together the origin of this worldwide competition. Everything started in the Peloponnese region in 7076 BC. Hellenic world was divided in city-states at that time, which were constantly at war. An Olympic truce was therefore proclaimed so all citizens from different cities could join the competition. It started in Olympia, hence the name of Olympic Games. As in a lot of other stories, Greek mythology is mixed up with history. We do not have a clear vision on the exact origin of the ancient Olympic Games. But the legend says that Heracles, son of the gods King Zeus and a mortal woman Alcmene, and hero of the famous 12 labors, created in his elder age this sport competition. He is known for his strength since his very childhood. When he was only 8 months, he killed 2 giant snakes sent in his chamber simply by using his 2 hands. The games organized at Olympia led to the development of the Pan-Hellenic Games. Pan for all and Hellenic for Greek. 4 different cities were hosting this competition. Olympia for the Olympic Games, Delphi for the Pythian Games, Isthmus of Corinth for the Isthmian Games, and finally Nemea for the Nemean Games. All these games brought all Greek world together. People were traveling all over the territory to take part in this competition. Millennia later, the Baron Pierre de Coubertin, inspired by British colleges, wanted to bring back sport as a main component of young men's education in France. And to make sport even more popular, he believed it had to become international. In 1894, he gave a speech in the Sorbonne University auditorium to present his Modern Games project and founded the International Olympic Committee. It was a huge success, and 2 years later, the honor of hosting the first modern games fell to Athens, capital of Greece. Every 4 years, as in the antique games, a city will host the international competition. In 1900, it happened in Paris, but it had to compete with the Universal Exhibition. And 24 years later, Paris once again hosted the Olympic Games. In 1925, Pierre de Coubertin resigned from the presidency after being outvoted by the committee, mainly because of his refusal to accept women athletes at the Olympic Games. Indeed, the participation of women athletes has been a long struggle to finally reach, only this year, an equal participation of men and women in the Games. I would like to tell you the story of a committed feminist and a key figure in the women's sports movement. Her name is Alice Milliat, and her story is relatively little known. Born in 1884, she lived 4 years in London, where she followed her husband. There, she was introduced to hockey, football, and above all, rowing. 4 years only after her marriage, her husband died and she decided to return back to France with a complete new life project. She quit her job as a school teacher and joined the Femina Sport Club. At that time, women are mainly represented in gymnastic disciplines. But when she became president of her own club in 1915, she opened it to many other sports known as manly disciplines: rugby, volley, hockey, athletics. She believed that sports club should be directed by women only, and she created in 1919 the Women's Sports Companies Fédération, and therefore was the first woman leader of such an organization. Besides lamenting the exclusion of women from international sporting competition, she campaigned to integrate women's game to them. She was faced with the refusal of Pierre de Coubertin, who believed that women should be there, as in the antique time, only to crown the winners. It didn't stop Alice Milliat to organize the first Women's Olympic Games in Paris in 1922. French, British, Czechoslovak and Swiss athletes competed, and it was a huge success. Sports Federation started to introduce women in some of the events, and the participation of women grows every year. Sadly, Alice Milliat didn't witness this transformation of the Olympic Games, as she died anonymously in 1957. Her name is nowadays resurfacing, and her fight definitely resonates in sport history. लहरों को कश्ती कर ले तू, लहरों को कश्ती कर ले तू, तूफानों का मुंह मोड़ के आ, ये सन्नाटा तोड़ के आ, सारे बंधन छोड़ के आ, सारे बंधन छोड़ के आ, ये सन्नाटा तोड़ के आ, ये सन्नाटा तोड़ के आ, सारे बंधन छोड़ के आ, ये सन्नाटा तोड़ के आ, ये सन्नाटा तोड़ के आ, ये सन्नाटा तोड़ के आ. Merci à toutes et à tous pour votre écoute et à très bientôt pour un prochain épisode.